messaging gets better, your money gets better. What that means is how you talk about what you do, how you explain what you do, how you signal to the people that are interested in what you do is directly correlated to how well you do. And so today, that's exactly what we're going to cover. Pull up a chair, send this out to a friend, to a colleague, to somebody that you care about, helping them in their business. Because we're going to talk today about how to fix your messaging so that you can fix your money. P, what you got for us today, bro?
Man, we gonna get into, and I know you know this, but I told you that I wanted to relaunch Praise Academy this year and do it the right way with the right message. And for those who don't know, and B knows this because of how many times I've came to him behind closed doors. I changed that thing like 6, 7 times. I was like, we gonna change to this, and then we gonna change to, and because there was no clear messaging. So today I want to get the clear messaging, the clear direction, and then from there we just gonna go. So
Yeah, 100%. By the way, for those of y'all that's on, let us know in the chat real quick if you can hear us. Put something in the chat. Let us know if you can hear us loud and clear. And make sure that you put your questions in the chat as we going through this conversation. We'll make sure we get to them as well.
yes,
So what
sir.
you got off the bat, P?
Okay, first, um, I wanted to ask what should be clarified first in a rebrand? Should it be the message, the audience, or the offer?
Why would you call it a rebrand? What's your thoughts behind that?
Because when I first was trying to do Praise Academy, I think I was just trying to do a little bit of everything. Um, I think it was just a little bit of everything and not just one thing. So uh, I was trying to coach, and then I'm trying to podcast, and then I'm trying to teach, and then I'm trying to do all these other things. There was just no clear lane. Like I was trying to
Mhm.
drive in every lane at the same time.
Mhm.
So when somebody asked me what is Praise Academy, I'm giving them like seven different definitions because I'm like, yeah, I do a little bit of this, but I also do a little bit of that. But and then they're like, oh, do you want to help? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I do want to help those type of people because I had no clear lane of where I wanted to go. So that's why I'm saying like it's really a rebrand because I was really just all over the place in my opinion. And then I feel like that also messed me up with preparation because since I didn't have no clear lane of where I wanted to go, I have no clear way to just prepare for what I wanted to communicate. So I'm just trying to be good in all areas instead of be good in one. So that's why I said this is really a rebrand because it's just going to be just one lane, one thing, and we're just going to go that direction and not trying to be in seven different lanes at the same time. So
Got it. Got it. So I got more that I want to pour into that thought.
okay,
But before we do that, let's first clarify the most important thing, which is what is Praise Academy? Like, and by what is it doesn't mean what does it do.
mm,
It means what outcome does it provide.
that's good.
I want to be very clear with everybody on here. It's your business shouldn't describe what you do. It should describe the outcome you provide for whoever it would be you would be doing it for. So while yes, my title is business coach, but that's not what I do. I help coaches and consultants build 6 to 7 figure businesses in a matter of 12 months. Some even have 6 figure days using our one to many system. That's an outcome that I provide as a business coach. So what I do is provide that outcome. So when you look at Praise Academy, who do you help? How do you help them? What payoff do they get? Who do
That's
you
good.
help? I help coaches and consultants build 6 to 7 figure businesses with our one to many system. Who do I help? How do I help them? What outcome do they get? So that needs to be stateable in a soundbite. Let me know if y'all are tracking in the chat with this. This is hyper critical. This is part of the reason why many of you are missing out on money in your business right now. Because nobody's clear about what you do, including yourself. To no fault of your own. That's why we're having this conversation, right? but you got to get clear about how you explain to people what you do for them. Okay. I don't see nothing in the chat. Is something you see something on your side?
Mm.
Okay. All right. So if you look at Praise Academy from that vein, and I know it's kind of on the spot, but that's the essence of what we do here.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
what's your heartbeat of the company? Because I think that's more important than even a rebrand. I don't. That's why I asked the question about why do you see it as a rebrand? Because here's the reality. Once I understand who do I serve, how do I serve, and what's the outcome, then it's nothing wrong with having a podcast. That's a marketing channel. That's a lead magnet. There's nothing wrong with posting content. That's a marketing channel. That's a lead magnet. There's nothing wrong with sending emails. That's a marketing channel. That's a lead magnet. There's nothing wrong with doing a YouTube live. That's a marketing channel. That's a lead magnet. So that's why I was asking those questions, because the fact that you had different mediums of expression is not the problem.
Mm.
The problem is when we lose sight of who do I help, how do I help them, what's their payoff.
That's good.
So whether you see me on Believers in Business podcast, whether you see me on Believers in Business community, whether you see me at the Purpose to Profits Challenge, which some of y'all will see me next week there, if you see me in the Purpose to Profits Accelerator, which is our mastermind, if you see me guesting on podcasts, if you see, like, wherever you see me, who do I serve? How do I serve them? What's the payoff? That part for me don't change. But I'm in all of these various expressions of that very thing all the time.
That's good. To start out with, who do I serve? I just say Gen Z, like point blank period, like Gen Z, not trying to overcomplicate it. Because before it was like builders, thinkers, leaders, creative, but I'm like, that's so, you know what I'm saying? It was just, I'd be like builders, thinkers, creatives, leaders, speakers, entrepreneurs. I'm like, just Gen Z, like point blank period. I help Gen Z. Um, and what was it? Who do I serve? Uh,
What's their payoff and how
what's
do
their
you serve
payoff? The payoff, this is where I needed a little bit more help and clarity. So I hop in where you see fit. And we had this conversation off camera. So I'm just bringing it back on camera where you were like, uh, where you were talking about how I should help them with their religious trauma, because I got like a PhD in experience in that. So my thing was to let's come on. You know, I got a PhD in that, man. I'm master certified in experiencing religious trauma, man. I got stories for days, days. So I was like, I wanted to help Gen Z break free from religious trauma and spiritual abuse.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
yeah,
mm. That's strong.
yeah.
So I got a clear picture now on who do I serve,
Hmm.
what's their payoff,
Yeah.
and then how are you going to serve them? Like, how do you deliver that payoff?
So this time, and you actually helped me with this a lot, um, which is the podcast. And through the podcast, it'll be from the podcast, it'll have the school community, and then from the school community, if they want to go deeper, I'll create an offer from that. Because if they're like, hey, like this isn't enough, like I need more, then that
Hmm.
offer will be for the people who want to go deeper and break free and
So
yeah,
I'm so glad we're
yeah,
having this conversation. Okay.
me too.
Because, see, what you just explained is how most people look at their business.
Mm,
You're looking at the process flow of the business. I get them in the podcast. That's my wide net that I cast. Maybe I get them then inside of a community or a webinar, and maybe then I get them into that's not, see, when you ask yourself this question as a business owner, who do I serve? What's their payoff? How do I serve them? That's your offer.
mm,
Everything starts with your offer. So as I said in my case, I help coaches and consultants build 6 or 7 figure businesses using our one-to-many system. So for people that's in our mastermind, in our inner circle, they're building 6 or 7 figure businesses using our one-to-many system, which is obviously expanded on inside of the offer itself.
Yeah.
But that's what we do.
Mm.
That's the mechanism. This offer is the mechanism that produces that outcome. All the highways and byways by which we gather them and bring them into our ecosystem is got nothing to do with them.
Mm.
The part that has something to do with them is the offer. So the first thing for you would be going to look at in your offer, how am I going to produce this outcome from them? Not from where it's starting your podcast when you start speaking to them. When I get them in my proximity, what's my transformation mechanism?
Mm. That's good.
Does that add more clarity?
Yeah. 100%. 100%. That's really good.
So let's see. JD says, I help business owners speak clearly and confidently on camera. Brian, do you feel like that's too niche, or is that strategic to serve business owners who want to build a personal brand? Let me put this question on the screen because that's great. And
did you also see a Godly Trading's question in there?
I did not, but I do see it now. I'm gonna come back to that one.
Okay.
So I help business owners speak clearly and confidently on camera. Brian, do you feel like that's too niche, or is that strategic to serve business owners who want to build a personal brand? So I would say, honestly, JD, rather than it being too niche, I don't think it's niche enough. I help business owners speak clearly and confidently on camera. Okay. Now I'm going to poke at this a little bit. So what if I own a dry cleaners? I'm a business owner, but do I really see the importance on speaking clearly on camera? So that's what I mean by I don't think it's niche enough. I don't think that it's too niche. I don't think it's niche enough yet. So I would get more specific about what are the types of businesses who, like as an example, we help coaches and consultants build 6 or 7 figure businesses using our one-to-many system. We could say we help business owners, but that'd be too broad because specifically our model works for coaches and consultants of any type. Okay. So I would say, JD, I like the path. I get the approach. I would just also start looking at like some genres within business, some specificity within the business spectrum to then say, I help these specific individuals. Because, and this is counterintuitive thinking, right? You think that the more niche down you get, the less people you serve. But really, the broader you are, the less people you serve. Because if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody.
It's good.
I have to feel something personal, like a personal connection with you. When I'm looking at your content, when I'm looking at your marketing, I need you to speak to me in a way that I know that you know who I am and what I'm going through. But if I'm talking too broad, then I never feel like you really know me. I feel like you know generally some stuff, but I don't feel like you know me like personally. That's why we have to be more specific. In your case, P, with Gen Z, I think that's a decent catch-all because of the nature of the type of offer that you got, right? Spiritual abuse, religious trauma. I think you start broad with that. Then maybe you find out after you get people into your ecosystem that maybe you like working with the Gen Z males versus the Gen Z females. Maybe not. I don't know, right? I'm just giving examples of how you can start wider on your funnel and start niching down more as you start to work with people. But
Okay.
in JD's case specifically, the fact that you're helping people speak more clearly and confidently on camera, I just think for business, and by the way, business owners are egotistical. That's just a fact, right? You got to be some kind of crazy to decide you want to go bake the cake from scratch every day instead of have somebody give you a check every 2 weeks.
It's
So
good.
if I don't know that you know me personally, I'm really not paying you no attention. It's too vague. I need to feel like there's some specificity there for me. Okay,
And and, and
JD, let me know if that helped. Go
can
ahead,
I
T.
ask a question so you
Yeah,
can dive a little deeper on that? Can
yeah,
you just talk about the importance of it being personal, of it being relatable? Can you just talk about the importance of that?
yeah. Because
Because you say it and it's like people like it's a business. Why would I have to relate? Like you know what I'm saying? Some people
yeah,
don't think that way. So
yeah. Because when you play with human nature, you win. When you play against human nature, you lose.
that's
So
good.
humans, by nature, are self-interested. We're selfish. From the time that we're children, that we're toddlers, we don't want to share our toys. Everything is me, 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 mine, mine, mine. We come out the womb like that. We don't have to learn that. We don't have to learn that. We're that by default.
Right.
So if you understand that about human nature, while yes, over time some of us become more generous and all the things, but self-preservation is always the number one instinct. So if you understand that everybody tuning into the radio station of WIFM, what's in it for me, then you always have to be thinking of speaking to them in a way to let them know what's in it for them specifically. If I don't hear what's in it for me, I'm going elsewhere.
Mm.
Okay. Which is the exact reason why when you start a webinar, when you start a speaking engagement, you don't start by introducing yourself. Don't nobody care. You start by explaining to them what's in it for them for participating in your webinar or your event, and then you later introduce yourself. On ads, when you shoot advertisements, and you start out with, "Hey everybody, I'm so and so so and so." The next, they don't care. They do not care. Literally, I've had people in my events that don't even know my name. Let's think about how crazy that is. They bought a ticket, came to the event, don't even know my name. Why? Because that wasn't what was important. What was important was whatever I said in that ad that got them to click and sign up was the thing that was important to them, which undoubtedly establishes the fact that messaging is the thing that leads you to money. So that's why people want to know when you go to the doctor, you want to know that they're diagnosing your problem, not what they learned in med school about what happens generally in this situation.
Right.
Even though they're giving you some diagnosis based on their general understanding of these symptoms, but you as their patient feel like they're talking to you, not like they're talking to everybody.
Mm.
That they're dealing with your sinus infection, not the other 7 patients that they saw today. Does that make sense? So,
Yeah.
so everything in your marketing has to signal to your avatar that you are talking specifically to them. And so what happens is when we try to serve too large of a category, then our messaging changes every day. So if our avatar, if they hooked on your page one day because you said something that was brilliant, that sounded like it was specific to them, but then they watch for the next 3, 4 days and you all over the place with your messaging because you're trying to serve the whole category instead of a specific segment of it. Now I don't feel like you know me no more. You don't intimately know me no more. And when people, I mean, just think about anything that you ever bought. Did you buy it for a general outcome or did you buy it for a specific outcome?
Specific.
Everybody does.
That's good.
So if you put yourself in their shoes as a buyer and you say, well, wait, when I buy things, it's specifically for something for me. Well, same is true for them. If if we buy things from people because we know, like, and trust them, how do we feel like we know, like, and trust them? Because we also feel like they see us.
Mm.
That's the connection. Like, oh, they get me. Finally, somebody know what I'm talking about. Finally, somebody go through what I go through. Finally, somebody that really understands, because nobody in my world seems to. So literally, when I put out content, literally when I run ads, literally when I any messaging that I do, I'm always thinking with the end in mind in terms of who is my avatar, and I'm thinking, uh oh, I'm thinking, who is my avatar, and I'm thinking, what is the thing that's really bothering them right now? Let me talk about that. And you can only do that if you're specific. By the way, here's the thing. You know how you could be in a room full of 100 people, and it may be 5 people that's raising their hand consistently asking questions. Those 5 people are representing probably 10 to 15 other people in the room that's just like them. Which means that in your marketing, in your messaging, if you speaking to one person on a platform that has hundreds of millions of subscribers, although you only talking to one person about one problem, that one person is representing millions of potential people in that category. Does that make sense? If it's 300, let's just say it's 350 million users on Instagram. If I niche down, say in JD's case, and I stop talking to just business owners, and I talk to speakers, coaches, and if I talk to speakers, coaches, and authors, right? So now I no longer say business owners. I help speakers, coaches, and authors speak clearly and confidently on camera to turn their conversation into cash flow. I help speakers, authors, and coaches communicate clearly on camera to turn their conversation into cash flow. Well, it's a lot of speakers, authors, and coaches. And guess what? Authors normally are speakers. Speakers typically turn into authors. In some way, shape, or form, they all end up coaching. So now although there's specificity in each category, but there's also overlap. So now what happens is I can talk about, burnout from being overextended and overcommitted to too many speaking engagements. I could talk about burnout from being overcommitted and overextended for book launch and book signings. I could talk about, how coaches are experts and they're leaving money on the table by virtue of not having a book, and how the book raises their authority. You see, I'm hitting everybody in that, but it's the same vein though. So every time I drop a message, I'm speaking to my avatar. I'm in my sweet spot. Now, every time they land on my page, they know that the message is for them. But if I'm talking about how, so many mom and pop restaurants could kill it if they would just have more local presence by way of having more virtual presence. Then if I'm a coach, if I'm a speaker, author, or coach, and I land on your page that day where you talking to me about mom and pop's restaurant, you'd have lost me possibly forever, because I don't feel like you know me no more.
It's good.
So if you serving everybody, you serving nobody. Like that's the reality of it. I hope that makes sense. Okay. JD said, "Oh, this is very helpful. I was afraid to niche to specific people. I didn't want to appear as a fraud if I didn't experience in my business experience in speaking." Got it. JD said, "If you guys could only see the smile on my face because of the clarity y'all dropping." Amazing. That's what we're here for. All right. So you want me to go to Pepper real quick and then we'll
Yeah,
pick
yeah,
back up.
yeah,
All right, let's
yeah,
do that.
yeah. Address all
So
that, please.
how can you phrase your who do I serve so that it still includes others? For instance, speaking to fathers, but still applicable to men. Y'all know I'm a slow reader. But still applicable to men who don't have kids or mothers. Um,
He said, "Y'all know I'm
I
slow
know
reading."
bro. It's funny because I see like I don't know if you ever seen on social where like the lady the woman to be sitting next to her husband and she'd see something pop up on her phone and she'd be cracking up laughing, and then she'd show him
He,
and it's like a super delay on his reaction, and then he like because my man trying to get it together, he trying to read all that stuff. That's how I am. Me and my wife be cracking up, especially now we doing Bible study together on Wednesday nights, right?
yeah,
So,
Pastor B, man, I love it.
bro, bro. So I mean, there's no bigger your family, your first ministry, right? So I get to go serve everybody else. Now I get to serve my wife in this capacity, which is dope. Problem is, she read faster than me though. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to do Bible study with your wife over there like, right, amen. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I already been here, bro. Thanks for showing up. Anyway, I digress. So this is the thing, Pepper. Who do I serve? So it includes others. I think most of what I already just said fixes that problem, right? Because your question is essentially if I'm really trying to help fathers, but then I also want to help men who don't have kids or mothers, it's like, well, that go back to what I just said. You if you're helping everybody, you're helping nobody. If you're helping everybody, you're helping nobody. So the answer is you don't fix your message to try to help mothers, fathers, and people that don't have kids. The question you have to ask yourself is, was there a
Who?
specific reason why you wanted to help fathers?
Mm-hmm.
And if there wasn't, then you can help everybody, I guess. But it's not I help fathers, but then I want to help mothers and people that don't got kids. That it's like, well, why you so then is the message I want to help families? I don't know, right? But I would say pick one. It's not a right or wrong. I would just check what's the origin story as to why you chose fathers to begin with. And if that why was strong enough, then just stick to fathers. If it wasn't, then I would I would highly recommend going back to figure out who you need to include your offer and who you need to exclude in your offer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you say a word that I think our generation has a problem with. And you just said exclude. I think and I've been a victim of this. It's like we want to include everybody. Like we want everybody to be included. And I know you said a quote of if you're trying to serve, if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. Or if you're trying to serve everybody, you're not serving nobody. But I think we still have an issue of exclusivity. So can you talk to the importance of exclusivity? Because you say that a lot. You're like, yo, you need to talk to these people and these people only.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like because just looking at these questions, I think the umbrella of the questions is exclusivity. Like I want to include everybody so everybody can get help. But even Jesus was exclusive. You know what I'm so I just want you to like just talk about the importance of exclusivity because that's like what you're kind of dealing with. That's like the big umbrella that you're really trying to debunk. Like that's a good thing. So can you just talk to us about that?
Yeah, I think the reason why exclusivity is so important is because ain't none of us God. Like just hear me out though. You you got to be some kind of arrogant to think that he needs you to take care of everybody.
Mm,
This is the problem with the whole coaching industry right now, right? Uh, My heart posture, David heart posture is catch and release. I have you for a specific season for a specific reason. And sometimes that extends, right? You come in, you have success. Yeah, we got different offers and different tiers that we can take you to. But ultimately, you now it may be time for you to go sit at somebody else's feet.
right.
So it's irresponsible of me as a leader, as a shepherd of any flock, to think that I'm supposed to serve everybody. God didn't wire me and gift me and to serve everybody. He gifted me specifically for a specific purpose. So if I'm clear about who I am, what my capabilities, my gifting mix, and what my call is in this particular season in my life, then I'm only supposed to do that.
Mm.
But the problem is when we're unclear, then we now we're not moving with clarity, we're moving with confusion. And the enemy is the author of what?
Confusion.
Okay. So now we making decisions that we're not designed to make.
Mm.
If Jesus said, "My sheep will hear my voice," right? That's an indication for all of us. All of us that are shepherds, that our sheep will hear our voice. Why is it that it's so many different churches to preach the same gospel? Hello? Why is it that I like listening to that guy exposit the text, but not that guy?
Mm.
The same text. Because they called to serve a specific type of person based on their leaning and dynamic in the way they deliver the text. I used to tell people all the time when I was coaching folks in real estate, it was you throw a rock and hit somebody that's coaching real estate. But why was it that my people chose me? Because my sheep hear my voice.
Mm. This is good.
So that's why exclusivity is so important. I'm not trying to serve everybody. I'm trying to serve who I'm supposed to serve.
Right.
Because God prepared me for them and he prepared them for me. That's why they get me and I get them. So I'm never tripping about who came in and who didn't come in. Look, if you ain't come in, you wasn't supposed to come in, as far as I'm concerned. So that's why we have to get to a place where we understand that exclusivity is stewardship.
That's good.
If I try to handle everything, I'm mishandling what I'm supposed to handle.
Wow. This is good. It's good, B.
If Jesus's motto was to speak to the masses, but then go deep with 12, and then only have 3 in his inner circle, and then he would go and get by himself when he was even tired of them jokers. Bro, that's a model. I'm speaking at a summit next week. I'm going to be speaking to the masses. We got, I don't know, 250,000 people on the list that we sent out to, right?
Oh,
So
wow.
who knows? But I'll be speaking to the masses, and then there'll be some that'll come closer, that I'll go deeper with and say a mastermind setting. There'll be a few that make it to the inner circle. That's a model. So there will be a time where you go wide with many, but the ultimate goal is to go deep with the few that you're supposed to serve.
That's so good.
Bro, listen to me. When you get to that level of clarity in your business, there's a piece that you didn't even know existed. Because now you're like, oh, that's somebody else's responsibility. Cool.
Yeah.
These are mine.
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
gifted in grace to do this assignment. I'm not gifted in grace to do that assignment. Because that ain't mine, that's their assignment.
That's good. This is, man, this is providing, this isn't only just providing clarity in business. I think this is also providing a lot of clarity in life,
Oh,
and
bro, listen to
just
me.
in general, bro.
Same rule
Holy
apply.
moly.
Same rule apply.
My, my
Personal life,
goodness,
all the things. I
bro.
ain't trying to hold on to relationships that I ain't responsible for. I
Right.
ain't trying to hold on to no responsibility or taking care of
Like,
folk that I ain't supposed to take care of. Like
my
we
goodness,
walk around and burden ourselves. I- If Jesus
my
said that
gosh.
my yoke is easy and my burden is light, and you walking around with heavy burdens, just stop to ask yourself the question of should you be carrying that? I know it's your mama. I understand that it's your sister. I understand your boy all he down bad right now, but he always down bad though. What's new about that? He make
Mm,
choices every day that make him put him in position to be down bad. Why do you keep thinking that's your responsibility to go save them?
right. Wow.
The fruits of the spirit: joy, peace, love, self-control, kindness. If you don't experience those things on a day in and day out basis, it means something out of alignment.
Mm,
These are measuring sticks to understand where we are. If you're walking around with
wow.
heavy burdens, then either you're carrying too much of it or you're carrying the wrong ones.
Wow. Wow.
Like this is a way to govern ourselves.
My gosh. My gosh. Wow. One thing, I don't like that you do this. You'll say something so powerful, you just sit there like, you heard what I said, right? It's the face you give. It's like, listen, I'm not like, but just to speak on what you're just saying, bro,
I'm
this
telling
is
you right now,
powerful.
one of the greatest gifts of my life is getting older.
Mm,
At 42, I just understand things that ain't can't nobody tell me different.
wow. It's crazy
Experience
because
is
you
the
look,
best teacher,
yeah, man,
and I got a ton of it.
bro, you are debunking myths right now and pulling down strongholds like insane, bro. Like this is, yeah, bro. This is gonna really change somebody's life. It's already changing mine. Like this is good, bro. Wow. And I wanted you to, because as you were speaking on exclusivity, as you were speaking on messaging direction, you were speaking on this one topic, which is clarity. And you were just like, yo, once you get this clear in your business, so um, where does confusion stem from? Like, where does that uncertainty? Because I don't think it. And I want you to kind of speak to because you were like, if you know your gifting, if you know, like, do you think that comes from people not knowing their gifting and where they're good at? Because for me personally, right, when I was trying to build Praise Academy, I wasn't thinking about what I was good at. Does that make sense? Like,
It does.
I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just help people do this. That's it. I don't care if I'm good at it or not. So it was like I was trying to teach myself how to teach. I was trying to teach myself how to teach people to be good at something I'm also learning. You understand what I'm saying? So
Man,
I'm not
you
I'm
just
not
solved 90% of the problem on social media right now.
so I'm teaching people something I'm learning myself. And this is the difference. It's like, okay, every day we're obviously going to learn the Bible. The Bible is infinite, right? So there's no end to the Bible. That's in a category of its own. I'm talking about what God has gifted you to do. I'm teaching people how to break out of something I don't know how to break out of. I'm like, so we both learning at the same time. I'm trying to teach people and they may be teaching me. So now this is our business. This isn't mine.
Yeah,
Because now you know what I'm saying. So I'm like,
yeah,
can you just speak to that? Because I feel like a lot of people like they're not going where or doing what they're best at.
yeah.
Like I know I wasn't. When I remember when we were having the conversation offline and you were like, P, can I just be honest with you? Like, I think you should just go this route with Praise Academy. You like pray on it, but that's just what I feel. You know when you know something? Like when you said that, it was just like scales fell off.
Yeah.
Like I should have been did this. Like that's what that conversation was. Cause you were like, P, like all that stuff you talking about, he was like, this is what you really need to do. Like you threw out all the noise immediately. That's one thing you do. So like, listen, guys, who B is on camera, I can vouch. He is the same way off camera. Like this isn't a on and off switch. I can vouch. He's off camera as if he's coaching me. He'll be like, P, like, throw that out the window. He's like, all that stuff you just said, I'm not even gonna bother that because we don't need to bother that. Like he'll say that and he don't care. And he's like, we don't need to bother that. This is what you need to do. So I'm coming to him with my idea and mindset, like, hey, this is a thought of mine. He has no problem reporting the junk and deleting that conversation. Zero problem. But it's necessary because it's thought that is clouding my mind or clouding clarity, whatever the case may be. He'll throw that out. He goes, P, all you need to do is talk about religious trauma and helping people break free from spiritual abuse. Simple. I'm in my head like, I just told this man a story in a paragraph, a 10-page paper. Y'all, I'm telling you, this happens all the time. I'm telling B a 10-page paper essay, MLA format, Times New Roman 12, double spaced. He goes, all you need to do is do this. I'm like, bro, he just told me one sentence. One sentence. There be times I'm getting mad, like, nah, bro, you tell me a 10-page paper. But he don't. So I just wanted you to speak on like that, doing what you're good at, you're gifted, because I know spiritual trauma and abuse. I know that. Like that's my whole, I've experienced that for 2 decades.
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
So I'm like,
it's layers to what you said, bro, honestly. Like I'm over here looking at the clock and I'm like, I can't bother all of that. But it's layers to what you said. I'm gonna start with this. There's nothing wrong with earning and learning. Right? Your question was, how do you rectify people teaching things that they're learning while they're teaching them? Nothing wrong with learning and earning and learning. Okay. It's something very wrong with not disclosing where you are to the people that you're learning and earning with. So what happens is people on social media will go read something out of a book, watch my live, come to our challenge next week, and then try to extract all of what they see us do, and then go regurgitate that to somebody and put an invoice on top of it. That's no bueno. But the reality is, John C. Maxwell says, when you look at imposter syndrome, I ain't gonna bother that. I ain't got time for that. This is what I'm gonna tell you. If, as long as you know 5-10% more than the people that you're leading, bro, 5-10% more can change somebody's life. So as an example, let's just say you got an LLC, you got a line of credit, you working on filing a trademark for your business. Let's just say that's where you at. You ain't got no client share, you ain't did none of that. Well, for somebody else that's working in corporate America that don't know how to file a LLC or get a line of credit or even know what a trademark is, you're ahead of that person. Those are fundamental steps that they need in order to do whatever it is that they're doing. So it's nothing wrong with learning and earning. It just needs to be disclosed. This is where I'm at. I always give this example, right? So David and I teach coaches, consultants, and experts how to build multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses using our one-of-many system, okay? Well, could our system help somebody go from 7 to 8? Yeah. Because it's principle and it's systems.
Yeah.
But we don't advertise that though, because that's not our sweet spot. You see what I'm saying? So that don't mean that we won't help us an 8-figure earner go from multiple 7 to 8 figures, but we don't advertise that. We advertise multiple 6 and 7 because that's our sweet spot, and that's what we got empirical data to show, to validate that we do over and over and over again. So it's nothing wrong with, again, earning and learning. Is all about, because here's the truth. At some point, everybody gonna have a first. And I'm not talking about losing your virginity. I'm sure everybody on here done done that already. Okay. What I'm talking about is everybody gonna have a first client at some point. That's
You
the only way that
crazy,
you
B.
get your business. Like businesses don't come with clients. You have to go have a first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So all you can do is prepare yourself as much you can prepare yourself for the opportunity, and then do everything in your waking power to over deliver for that one, that first one.
Mm, mm,
That makes sense.
100%.
Bro, you know, so maybe everybody else don't know this, but at the end of last year, I launched a communication mastery program. Okay. And it's to help speakers, coaches, authors communicate their way to cash flow. Okay. It happened because somebody pursued me and said, if I could talk like you, I know I could sell more in my business. I can coach better. Like everything in my life gets better. So I'll spare y'all the details of how it all came about. But I went and did the due diligence on myself because she saw my gift. I know I have it, but I don't see it because I just do it. I just use it. So we just wrapped up. It's an 8-week program. I threw a bonus in for her. We just wrapped up and yesterday. And
Oh,
her
congrats, bro.
testimony. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
She got two. She got two speaking engagements lined up in the next 2 weeks. Well, in the next 3 weeks. One is international in Mexico, and another one is a big summit that she's speaking at. And super proud of her. She did a phenomenal job. But I learned while I taught.
Mm,
This is a $5,000 program, by the way. Okay. She said yesterday that she got her money's worth by week 3. Now I had never taught it before. But once I made the
yeah.
commitment to teach it, then my responsibility is I got to over deliver. Guess what? She was my first. So you're always going to have a first. If you got a new offer, you're going to have a first. She said she got her money's worth in week 3, and we did 9 weeks.
Wow. Wow. And it wasn't even about the money at that point. It was she had a problem and you had the answer. You had the answer.
But watch this.
That's powerful.
But she forced me to go create an offer that I wasn't even thinking about creating. But you know why? Because she's attended a challenge. So she saw me speak for a week. She attends these lives that we do on Thursdays every week. She sees my content. My point is, see, we always trying to have control over outcomes, but we don't focus enough on the inputs. If I'm
Bible,
not showing
please.
up in all these places serving without looking for anything in return, she don't even have enough data to make the observation and realization of I need him in my life to help me with something. I'm not doing it for that purposes. I'm doing it just because I'm using my gift and I'm helping people.
Yeah.
But if I seek ye first his kingdom and his righteousness, then all these things will be added. If we seek to serve, scripture says that all these things will be added. I'm just showing y'all how the text come to life for those that read it. But we so focused on how many likes is it gonna get? How many people gonna show up? I don't really like how I sound. I don't really like how I look. Okay. Well, then can't nobody come tap you on the shoulder to ask you for your help because they don't even see you. We control the inputs, God control the outcome. We control the inputs, God control the increase. But we trying to control the outcomes and the increase, and we never do the inputs.
Mm.
Because we focused on the wrong thing. We focused on his part, not our part. His part is who comes. Our part is us showing up. Every week, what we do? We get on here 2, 3 minutes beforehand in the back room. We quickly come up with a topic. We pray, and then we hit go. Well, I have no idea who's coming from week to week. Don't matter. I know I'm supposed to be here. You know you're supposed to be here. And we know that every time we open up our mouth, the intention is to help somebody. And that's what we do.
Right. Right. And
It
it's
takes
funny
so
that you
much
say that.
pressure off, bro.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that because and this is relating to one of the conversations offline because um, I remember because the example you just gave about this communication mastermind to all the things like the way you're able to bring an offline thing to an online thing is insane to me. So I was like, let me do the same right now. Me and B was having a conversation. I was expressing some things to him, and this is the funny part. I'm confiding in B. B go, P, you selfish. I'm in my head like, bro. I'm like, I'm expressing some hurt. I'm
Oh my
expressing some
God.
pain right now.
Oh my
I'm
God.
expressing my mindset. He go, P. He like, yeah, thanks, appreciate it. That's good enough. But like, that's not the fish we gotta fry right now. He's like, P, you selfish. Like he's like, you got to deal with that only child symptom. Like, I don't know what you got going on, but you selfish. Like, and that's not even like a physical selfish. He like, you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, all right. So I'm in my head now, like, dang, I knew I was selfish, but it was a thing that I was dealing with. He like, nah, like I seen it, but I just ain't want to say nothing until now. I'm like, all right. So then now even the conversations we have now, I'm coming on here, and as we started these things, I'm asking these questions thinking I'm helping me. And I don't know who's showing up every day. So I don't know who's having the questions that God has given me the boldness to ask you. And I'm just thinking, oh, I'm helping me. I'm coming here, I'm seeing people. I'm like, oh, they're not saying nothing, but I'm helping me. Until you literally just said that. I'm like, I haven't been helping me this whole time. And you've communicated this previously. You're like, yo, like you're asking questions people aren't asking. I'm in my head like, I don't really think so. Like, because once you do something, you're just like, we're just doing this. We've
For
done this
sure.
for so long
For
that it's
sure.
just like, you know, you're blessing me every Thursday morning. So I'm like, bro, like I'm getting fed. Whole time, I don't know who else needs feeding. I don't know who else on here is like, yo, the questions Praise is asking, the topic Praise chose, and mind you, and that also comes with trust because we come on here max 30 minutes before B texting me like, hey P, what we doing? I'm in my head like, God, what we doing? Like immediately, because I'm like, I can choose a topic and that may feed me, but God wants me to choose a topic that will feed us and them. So that's why when you text me that, I'm immediately like, God, what do you want me to talk about? First thing that drop in my heart, I'm like, yep, that's what we're gonna go with. Because today I'm like, I need clarity on Praise Academy. I don't know who else needs clarity on their business.
Clearly, a
And we
couple
just
people
help.
did.
Right, exactly. And I'm thinking, I just need getting clarity, right? I'm like, I need clarity on Praise Academy. I don't know where to go with this. Da 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 da. You asking me the questions, you sift through, you show up the way you've been because you're so input focused that God's gonna take care of the outcome because He promised to. So that's what, and I think that's something that you preach a lot is that God's gonna take care of the outcome. We handle the input, but He told me, B told me I'm selfish. We get on here and I'm sitting here now understanding how selfless I have to be for these. Because you getting on here for free. What you giving away? JD said, I feel bad for people who aren't on this live getting this wisdom because this is free. And majority of the things that are free, people take for granted. For example, breath. So if we taking the thing we living off of for granted, talk less of the wisdom that you're giving. So I just wanted to also bring an offline thing on an online thing because it was like you told me I was selfish, and I'm like, this is teaching me how to be selfless because this isn't about me. This is about everybody we come in to help and show up for. So yeah, man, this was amazing. Like this
Yeah.
was amazing, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, but you're 24, right? And like I said, I've made the observation, but it wasn't time to share. It was
yeah,
only time to share based on what you asked me offline. And the thing that you've been
yeah,
wrestling with, which we touched on some. If y'all didn't see the live last week, it was different. Y'all should go check it out. But um,
man.
but but the truth told out of season can sound like a lie.
Mm.
So I got to have enough wisdom as your friend, as your coach, as your brother to know it ain't time for that yet. He in process. You're
That's
reaching
good.
certain parts in your process that's requisite for me to share some of these things for correction.
That's good. That's real good.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yes, sir.
but you're right. Bro, I'm clear every day. I understand it's not about me. The only thing that is about me is how I prepare me for my assignment.
Mm.
What do I do when the cameras are off? What am I consuming when the cameras are off? How am I feeding myself physically, emotionally, spiritually when the cameras are off? So when they're on, that something good comes out of this thing when I open it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm doom scrolling all day, this don't help nobody I get on here. It just don't.
You're right.
So it's that. It's understanding you got an assignment, understanding what the assignment is, and then just leaning in.
Yeah.
And to your point, it's for
That's
who it's
good.
for. But here's the kicker, and we'll close on. By the way, if y'all got any final questions, put them in the chat really quick before we get out of here. The funny part about what you said is this. A minute ago, I said if it was a room full of 100 people and there were 5 people in there raising their hands, asking questions, each one of those 5 represent probably 15 to 20 who are thinking it that didn't raise their hand. By virtue of you showing up sitting in that seat, whether you thought you was doing it for them or not, you still represent hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. So whether you realized it or not, you were always helping everybody else because
Mm.
your questions represent other questions that people have that they just either don't have the proximity to ask or they just didn't ask. That's why this has been
That's good.
fruitful for the time that we've done it.
Yes, sir. That's good.
All right. But yeah, I feel like so this would be the game plan. Now you could go solidify your offer, right? Who do you help? How do you help them?
Hmm.
What's the payoff? And then we'll double back and then put the other messaging and mechanisms around that.
Yes. 100%.
All right.
100.
And
Yes,
if you
sir.
guys are watching this replay, make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, send it out to folks, and put your comments in the comment section. We'll answer them in the comment section or on the next live.